Welcome to English Storytime Adventures. In today's video, we're going to listen to an exciting short story that will help you improve your English skills. Listen carefully and follow along with the subtitles. Before we begin, here are some key words you'll hear in the story. Pay attention to their meaning and try to use them in your own sentences later.
Eternal, lasting forever, without end. Invasion, the act of entering a place in a forceful way, often as part of a takeover. Nevertheless, in spite of what has just been said or done, celebrate, to mark a special occasion or achievement, often with joy or festivities.
Now that you're familiar with these words, let's begin the story.
In a quiet, forgotten town, life moved slowly, as if the world outside didn't exist. The people there went about their days with routines that never changed. Yet beneath the surface, something profound stirred. Michael, a young teacher, had just moved to the town. His job was simple: teach students who had been left behind by the system. Every day, he entered the classroom with a sense of duty, but not much hope. The students, much like the town, were distant and unengaged, their faces blank, as if nothing in the world could touch them. Yet Michael sensed something deeper, something they were trying to hide. One student, Emma, caught his attention. She sat in the back, quiet, barely speaking, but her eyes showed a storm of emotions. One day after class, Michael found her alone, drawing a picture on her notebook. He quietly approached her. "Emma, what are you drawing?" he asked gently. Without looking up, she whispered, "The end of the world?" Michael paused, unsure how to respond. "Why the end?" She looked up, her eyes filled with something he hadn't seen before: fear. "Because it's coming. The invasion. It's already started. You just can't see it." Michael's heart sank. He knew that, metaphorically, she wasn't talking about aliens or monsters, but something darker: despair. It was a feeling invading not just Emma, but the entire town. The quietness, the routine, the distance, it was all part of the invasion. Nevertheless, Michael felt a responsibility. He couldn't let her, or the others, fall into this darkness. Over the next few weeks, he tried to connect with the students. Every day, he spoke to them about hope, about life outside the town, about dreams. He encouraged them to see beyond the walls they had built around themselves. But the invasion was strong. It wasn't just in the students. It was in the adults, too. The principal, the other teachers, the parents, they all seemed defeated by life. Michael often found himself alone in his efforts. Nevertheless, he pushed forward. One evening, as Michael walked home, he saw Emma sitting on the edge of a small hill, overlooking the quiet town. He sat down next to her. "Do you ever wonder if things will change?" she asked. Michael looked at her. "I believe they will. But it's up to us. We can't just wait for someone to save us." Emma smiled sadly. "But what if it's too late?" "It's never too late. Even when it seems like the invasion has won, there's always a way to fight back. We just have to celebrate the small victories." Emma frowned. "Celebrate? What is there to celebrate?" Michael thought for a moment. "We can celebrate that we're still here, that we haven't given up. Every day we keep going. That's something to celebrate. The eternal fight against the invasion. It's what keeps us alive." Emma was silent for a long time. Then, for the first time, she spoke with a hint of hope. "Maybe you're right." Weeks passed, and slowly, Michael noticed small changes. the students began to engage more, asking questions, sharing thoughts. The invasion was still there, lurking, but Michael had given them a weapon to fight it: hope. And in that hope, there was something eternal, something that couldn't be taken away.
Great job following along with the story. Now, let's review the key words we learned today.
Eternal, lasting forever, without end. Example from the story: the eternal fight against the invasion. It's what keeps us alive. Invasion, the act of entering a place in a forceful way, often as part of a takeover. Example from the story: because it's coming, the invasion. It's already started. You just can't see it. Nevertheless, in spite of what has just been said or done. Example from the story: nevertheless, Michael felt a responsibility. He couldn't let her or the others fall into this darkness. Celebrate, to mark a special occasion or achievement, often with joy or festivities. Example from the story: we can celebrate that we're still here, that we haven't given up.
Now, let's check your understanding of the story. See if you can answer these questions.
Question 1. Can you think of another word to describe the mood of the town at the beginning of the story? Question 2. What do you think the invasion in the story really symbolizes?
Feel free to pause the video and write down your answers in the comments. Great work today. Well done. You've just completed another story with English Storytime Adventures. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more fun and educational stories. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts or answers to the questions. I'd love to see how much you've learned. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next episode of English Storytime Adventures. Until then, happy learning.